All right. I am live. I am outside, and it is going to be loud as fuck. So there's that. Um, as always, it is a pleasure to come here before you this evening and fucking drop my nuts on the table. It is I, Michael Talbert, the fearless and fucking handsome, uh, and your host for the evening. If you would please, so bow. Let's get into this. We're gonna talk about presentments, I think, man. Um, we're gonna deal with some shit. If Jason comes on tonight, we'll probably talk about some personal stuff of both of ours. But I'm gonna just go into presentments and things that I've done. Things that I know to be true. Things that I speculate might be true. A lot of this is going to be conjecture. I'm not going to bullshit you. There's no need to. You'll be going through this as well if you're not already. Um, this is part of the plan. This is how they're going to take us. This is how they're going to take this fucking country from us, man. So, uh, they tried restricting the guns. It's not going to happen. They tried fucking with the reload stuff and making the ammunition expensive as shit. It worked to an extent, but people just started making more guns. 80% lowers is 80% lowers, and we're going to do what we're going to do. So eat a dick. Um, but at some point, the machine, odious as it may be, catches up with all of us, and it's a motherfucker, man. And it gets you feeling like less of a man or something. I don't know how to say it. Uh, it's not a preferential way to feel, and I don't wish it on anybody. But fuck it, I'm lucky if any of you guys have stuck with it through this bullshit by this point in time on a replay, and nobody's ever here for these motherfuckers when they happen. So I have dealing with presentments, which is long as fuck. Presentment receiver information that I've come across from UCC 3505, which is pretty handy shit, and a few other little documents. We'll check some of this shit out. My apology for the noise. It's absolutely terrible here, but home's not going to work, so here we are. So basically, when given a presentment or when taken into court for some alleged debt, they've got to do four things. It's necessary, like prerequisite under UCC Article 3, Section 505, and it lists the rights of a party of a presentment, or any kind of party presented with a demand for payment. And the first right is the right to see the instrument that created the debt. The document showing your liability. Um, they have to produce that motherfucker, and it's got its own requirements. The contract has to meet all the necessary elements of the contract, so on and so forth. It has to have a wedding signature. It's got to be signed by two parties. A lot of the things that you're going to end up paying for aren't signed by two parties. They're not. What happened was, you know what I'm saying? What happened was, but under UCC 3505, it lists secondly the right to reasonable identification of the party making the presentment. The party making the presentment. You know what I'm saying? If it's a Capital One debt, what the fuck is credit fucking management junk debt buyer doing contacting your ass in the first place? They don't have your express permissible permission to fucking do that shit. What do they got your private, non-public information for in the first fucking place? You know. But secondly, you have the right to ask these motherfuckers to identify themselves in commerce. This goes back to the estoppel episode with Abraxas. Abraxas, fucking, if you're watching this later, man, you're a genius. Thank you for all that you've done for me and for everybody, for all of us, dude, if they'll just fucking listen. The estoppel by conduct and concealment method that Abraxas has come up with is fucking genius. I don't promote anything on here other than the use of drugs, and Abraxas is fucking Abraxas' process, man. Like it's plain and simple. Can you produce 3 forms of identification, state issued identification, so that I can fucking copy them bitches front and back? I got to be indemnified, you know. I got to make sure that I'm made whole if you harm me. E-commerce, you gonna make me whole? You got somebody to make me whole? You got a surety principle there? Let's get after it. You know, identify yourself. No, well, that's a concealment. That's a concealment. That's estoppel by conduct. I guess we're done here. You know, fucking cry big crocodile tears back to your fucking wife who hates you anyways, and your fucking goldfish is gonna jump out of the bowl and flop around on the floor because it hates you, and fucking your kids are gonna hang themselves because they lost their college fund and they fucking hate you. Your cat's gonna shit on the floor and run away because it hates you. And then your dog's gonna run away and eat it because it hates you and the cat. This is just the way of the fucking world. Welcome to Bleak's America, I suppose. The third, because we can't just go to the fourth one. If he's presenting for another, you have the right to see his delegated authority to make such a presentment. This is a fucking fact. It's a fact. And second, fourth, you have the right to have all payments shown to you on the face of the instrument, along with the balance to be paid. And that's in total. Lastly, you have the right to have this done at a reasonable time and place, as everything goes in this fucking country. You have these rights even if the claimant is the United States of America. That's no fucking shit. You also have the right to demand evidentiary proof that the offeror or the revenuer gave the value, you know, in order to possess an interest in the subject matter disputed, i.e. the amount of the claim or charge. Otherwise, they would have no legal standing before any court and no claim against you, and no right to make a demand in commerce. Any of this is estoppel. Really, when you get down to it, God, I'm fucking so sore. Oh, I've been riding around on a skateboard a lot without the dogs, and that shit's fucking eating my ass, dude. So you'll have to just forgive me for a second while I fucking think about your mom. Oh, hammies. My hammies, you know. I ain't getting any younger. I'm fucking good looking for my age, though. Fuck you, Sarah. No, I'm teasing. Come home. You weren't so bad. Little mustache having bitch. Five ways to handle a presentment. I think I'm gonna just go into the bot and let that shit read it to us. I love its terrible fucking voice. It's the worst. Here we go. Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me now.
5 ways to respond to a presentment or draft. 1. Honor, acceptance. Accept and carry out performance of the presentment. Example, the IRS says you owe $20,000, so you pay it. 2. Honor, conditional acceptance. Accept upon party meeting conditions. Conditionally accept and read. Draft example, with the CA4V conditional acceptance and the negative averment, which says sure, I'll pay you, upon proof of claim. 3. Refusal for cost, without dishonor. No dishonor. Erroneous claim refused for cost. No liability evidenced. Pursuant to UCC 3-501 and California Com Code 3501. 4. Dishonor, refusal. Argue the issues. Example, who are you? What's your authority? I don't know that much.
Okay,
or whatever.
Yeah. This shit is fucking way hard to read or hear. So while that'll work for me, I don't think that's gonna fucking translate well. I will just fucking run through this shit orally, my ninja. And I do this for you because I love you. Mikey loves you. All right, so there's 5 ways to handle a presentment. The first one is to honor it and accept it. You can accept and carry out a performance of the presentment. An example would be like the IRS says you owe $20,000. So you pay them them motherfucking shits, or set it off or discharge it. The second is that you honor, like conditionally accept the presentment, accepting upon party meeting conditions, conditionally accepted and redrafted. Like example would be with the CA4V, like the fucking accepted for value, conditional acceptance, and the negative avertment, which says sure, I'll pay you upon proof of claim. You know, so that's how you do that. The third would be to refuse, like refusal for cause without dishonor. No dishonor, erroneous claim, refused for cause, no liability evidence, pursuant to UCC 3-501 and California Commercial Code 3501. If you're Corey, that's what you're going through right now, brother. I don't remember where we're at. I'm gonna say we've been live for fucking a short time. I'm sure I'll find this shit and clip it and send it to that ass. That ass. So the fourth is to dishonor that thing, to refuse it and argue the issues. An example would be, who are you and what's your authority? I don't think I owe that much, or whatever else, whatever issue, whether they can't prove the claim, whether you don't accept what they have for proof as valid. And this is a judicial determination ultimately, but I mean, these are things that you can, these are fucking questions that you can raise. You know, if you don't raise issue to something, then you have fucking essentially accepted it. What they call this is acquiescence or tacit admittance. Like if you tacitly fucking admit that you're a booger eater, that takes no more than me saying you're a booger eater and you not speaking up and saying, look, nigga, I don't eat boogers. But personally, I think that you do, bro. So you're a fucking booger eater. But yeah. The fifth one is to dishonor that shit just by defaulting or remaining silent, which is the same thing. So using conditional acceptance, you can honor the presentment upon conditions that forces the other party to dishonor you. This is kind of a turn of the tables, you know. Then by using like a notary protest on their dishonor, you can perfect the dishonor and, you know, go get a fucking judicial determination on that shit for $1 in small claims court, you know. Get after it, big boy. So it helps you achieve the agreement of the parties before coming into court. This keeps the substance no longer an issue. You know what I mean? And the court is reduced to a ministerial duty instead of a fiduciary duty as a, you know, an executor in an admiralty administrative capacity. You know what I'm saying? So I got to kind of keep an eye on the way I do these anymore, man, because I'm putting a bot on them. I found some really great, like the Opus bot is fucking amazing. The AI, Opus.ai is pretty fantastic, man. It does some amazing work and some analytics. There is a website called There's an App for That. There's an app for that ass. And it's at there's an app for that.com. And an AI for that. Sorry, there's an AI for that.com. And see, this is why I don't get paid to do promotions, because I fucking am on drugs. So back to things concerning dishonor. Basically based on the evidence before the court, which is only the claim on the table. You can do this through the use of a notary. The claim of the notary who tried to get acceptance on the draft and certifies that the dishonor of the opponent was deliberate. Kind of, I don't know how to explain this. Through the notary, because she's a deputized secretary of state, he or she. You know what I'm saying? And so through them, you're saying we've held court and we've held it through the mail. And you have, if you've done this process and you've done it correctly. The notarial process is or protest is a very fucking fascinating way that you can use a notary as a judge, and any three notaries can overturn any judge's ruling. This is not conjecture. This is not hyperbole or bullshit. A notary public for any state that's certified and bonded has more authority than any fucking judge in this country, including any fucking Supreme Court justice. Any jury member has more authority in this country than a fucking judge or a Supreme Court justice. And this is because A jury member can do what they want. They can fucking what's it called? They can nullify. Yeah, a jury can nullify the crime itself, saying that the guy's guilty of the charge but not the crime. Or they can say that he's guilty of murdering this dude, but fuck, he was an asshole. We're gonna nullify it, dude. We found you guilty, but we're sentencing you to dick. We're sentencing you to fuck all, and that's how it should be. A jury of your peers, not of members of your community that don't fucking know you. And this is how the founding fathers intended it. They intended it to be this way, so that we could do shit like use the mail to fucking hold court instead of go to these fucking bullshit administrative tribunal fucking things that are run by a dude with a gold fringed flag behind his back. That fucking military wartime flag that you got behind your fucking self there, Judge, that means one of two things. It is a constitutional court, and that you're going to protect my fucking constitutionally fucking written and fucking argued and that's it, rights. Or it means that that is a war trophy and you're a fucking insurgent in my homeland. And I know this. And soon they'll know this. And soon everybody will know this. And then we'll fucking just get to it, won't we? So now you're before a court with this notary and his evidence. The judge has an administrative, not judicial issue before him. Judge, this means that it's strictly procedural, that there's no discretion allowed. And if there is any used, there is no immunity. If you go conditional acceptance with the offer from your opponent, you conditionally accept that shit. You're giving them the opportunity to produce their claim, and if they don't do it, where's the controversy before the court? Substance issue over. Mic drop. Down and out. Now the judge gets to rule administratively, whereas if he does it ministerially, there is no immunity. This is the difference between a judge acting in a judicial capacity or an administrative capacity. There's a huge fucking wall in between the two. And if you know how to set it up and tell him it's there, then he has to go one way or the other. And it's just like the cops or CPS or any of these motherfuckers. They're so easy, dude. They're like Glass Joe at the beginning of fucking Tyson's Punch Out, bro. And then he's gonna, you know, and if you fucking get out of the way of that shit, boy, you know what I'm talking about? You're hitting that little bitch, just boop, 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 till you get your star. And you fucking jump and you hit that dude with the Superman punch, and fuck yeah. Next thing you know, you're chasing the fat dude. You know what I mean? Or it's the other way. It's the other way around. Yeah. He's in the back. It'd be fucking racist as shit if that dude was up front. Yes, and Miss Daisy. So, a UCC 3 501 presentment is defined in the first section, which I'd like to just go back and remind everybody, man. Every time you're getting into a different section of the USC or the UCC or the CFR, it's as simple as understanding that first they're going to put the scope and the legislative or congressional intent in the thing that they're passing, which explains to you why, rather. And then they go into the definitions, which you must read. You must read. I don't care if you know what present means. I don't care if you know what present. And they fucking hope you think you know what presentment means. You don't. You don't. And if you read it in the last chapter, then guess what? Fucking read the definition again, dude. There's like 27 different United States. Like, again, it ain't my fault that motherfuckers fucking spend more time reading about their fridge that they're gonna buy from Lowe's than their fucking rights. It pisses me off. Or a $30,000 surgery that's elective that they're gonna get, or fucking let their parents get fucking chemo. And goddamn, the Journal of Oncology just said last month that fucking 96% of the people that take chemotherapy fucking die within 6 years. Tell me this place ain't run by fucking demons. Tell me that shit. Presentment. It means a demand made by or on behalf of a person entitled to enforce an instrument. One, to pay the instrument made to the drawee or a party obligated to pay the instrument, or in the case of a note or accepted draft, payable at a bank or to the bank, or two, to accept a draft made to the drawee. So if you don't understand any of this stuff, it's fucking not my fault. It's not. But I'll tell you what it means anyways. Or will I? No, I won't, man. Do your homework. All this shit's in fucking UCC 3501. You go look at it and it's got fucking links, hyperlinks. All these words that are in blue, you need to click on those and understand that shit too. You do, dude. You got it. This is called due diligence. And you're gonna fucking do some of it. You're gonna do some of it, goddammit, dude. I'm sacrificing my whole fucking shit for you guys. Like, I really have lost everything to do this shit. And I don't even know that anybody's ever gonna fucking see it or fucking try it. I know what's worked for me. I know that when people ask me for proof, I fucking just giggle. Proof. But see, I ain't worked since 2021. What's up? You know? So, B, the following rules are subject to Article 4, agreement of the parties and clearinghouse rules, such as 1, that a presentment may be made at the place of payment of the instrument and must be made at the place of payment if the instrument is payable at a bank in the fucking your mama. Yeah, your mama. She likes that one. Oh shit. United States, and maybe commercially reasonable way to and made by any commercially reasonable means, including an oral, written, or electronic communication, is effective when the demand for a payment or acceptance is received by the person to whom the presentment is made, and is effective if made to any one or two or more makers, acceptors, drawees, or payers. So that's a lot to unpack. Take it back, rewind that shit if you need to. Upon demand of the person to whom presentment is made, the person making the presentment must 1, exhibit the instrument, 2, give reasonable identification, and if presentment is made on behalf of another person, reasonable evidence of the authority to do so, which is that delegation of authority, and 3, sign a receipt on the instrument for any payment made, or surrender the instrument if full payment has been made. 3, without dishonoring the instrument of the party to whom the presentment is made, may return the instrument for lack of necessary endorsement. That's something you should look into. Or 2, and that is really something you need to look into. Hint, fucking hint. Because, I mean, who has endorsed this fucking contract? Otherwise, it's an adhesion contract. A fucking unilateral contract signed by one fucking party is an adhesion contract, and you're not liable for that motherfucker. And you never will be unless you accept the shit. And this is what fucking really upsets me, is that motherfuckers are like, I don't want to read a little Mike. I don't want to do this shit either, motherfucker. I want you to do this shit. Like fucking, everybody just wants to sit around and get high, or play on their phone, or fucking cheat on their wife. I'm so sick of you guys, man. Fucking humanity is disgusting. Not my viewers, but like all 3 of you guys, you're all right. I know you're all right. And that's because I've made out with a couple of you. So, suck.
We have officially reached the point of no return. We are no longer going to be waking people up. Waking up, the spiritual awakening that a lot of us have gone through, is a very personal thing. And many of us have been on this app for 5, 6, I don't know how many years. I've lost count at this point, trying to share information that we've found, that we've researched, to maybe spark something in somebody. We're well beyond that. There's a very clear line drawn in the sand at this point. On one side, you have the awakening.
Why is the government lying to us about history? There is a civilization as recent as 100 years ago that was omitted from the history books called the Tartarian Empire, and it was technologically far superior. They were able to convert atmospheric pressure into electricity, and as a result of unlimited free energy, They were able to direct their focus towards unity, oneness, peace, love, and harmony, which we don't see in today's society as there is no profit for evil people in times of peace. Tartaria was a country with its own government, its own flag, and its own place on the map. Its territory was huge, covering over 3 million square miles, and if you look back far enough, the country exists on maps predating the 19th century. The Great Wall of China, which is located on China's northern border, is believed to have been built by the Tartarians, although history would say otherwise. There are openings on the wall that are only accessible from the north face of the wall, or from Tartaria. The world government destroyed an entire utopia and kept it hidden because they don't want humanity knowing that there is sustainability in the collective without the interference of heads of state.
Oh yeah, they said head, which is cool. I used to be married. I would get that stuff on occasion. It was all right. It was all right. Good shit. So if coach would have put me in at halftime, Napoleon. So yeah, where are we at? Okay, so under the third, without dishonoring the instrument, the party to whom the presentment is made may refuse payment or acceptance for failure of the presentment to comply with the terms of the instrument, an agreement of the parties, or other applicable law or rule. Now, these are also things that you would want to look into, man. Your state's going to have its own consumer protection laws. It's going to have its own debt collection laws. All of these things are taken from federal code and transformed into the way that your Congress and your senators want them to fucking, well, not your senators, but the way your congressional body of your state goes, your state's Congress. This is how your laws are made. And trust me when I say that, like, these people are all just people, man. Any of these motherfuckers can be replaced. You don't like them. You live in Kansas, dude. I mean, they can't probably be replaced where you live, but they can where I live. I can impanel a grand jury. I can fucking impanel a grand jury. All I got to do is write a petition, my ninja, and then what? You know what I'm saying? I got to have 100 people sign that son of a bitch, and then fucking 2% of the last gubernatorial vote. And shit, I'll bet that wasn't 200, 300 people in this fucking town. What they say is 8,000 people. There's 3,000 fucking homeless people in my town. 3,000 homeless people in a town of 8,500. They say 8,600, something like that. We won't know until the census comes back, this last census. But I mean, fuck. I can attest to that. You know, as a dude that's got his home, I sit and fucking allow addicts and alcoholics and shit like that to come stay with me. You know, I'm running a 501 basically as a 508, but without funding. And I've done it for fucking 3 years. And I've survived, and I've eaten, and I've cried, and I've laughed, and I've fucking swept up floors and found, you know, needles with no fucking lids on them, like stuffed into couches. And, you know, I've dealt with it all. Gunshots and motherfuckers getting stabbed and people getting shot on my couch bleeding out. And I don't give a fuck. Wellington police, you can come get me, dude. Like, fucking, you know where I'm at, pussies. Maybe you can traffic me where my fucking family is, huh? I've been good. Put me where you put them, you know? Fucking Officer Chance, Officer Nesker, my pals, my good friends at the Wellington Municipal Police Department, Chief Tracy Heath, Judge Gayton T. Wood, Alan Goering of the State Bar's Ethics Committee, Senior Advisory Board. Fight me. Fight me, you fucking human traffickers. Fight me, you fucking pussies. I fucking hate you all so much, dude, and I will chew a hole through every one of you cocksuckers. Kiss you in your hot mouth. 4, the party to whom the presentment is made may treat the presentment as occurring on the next business day after the day of the presentment if the party to whom the presentment is made established a cutoff hour not earlier than 2 p.m. For the receipt and processing of instruments presented for payment or acceptance, and the presentment is made after the cutoff hour. Conditional acceptance, sometimes called battle of forms, and there's a reason why, because it's a flurry of papers, and it comes at you so fucking fast. You think a whole day to reply to something is fucking easy, and you're like, oh, I've got fucking 7 of these, or 10 of these, or 14 of these. Get it done now, and get it in the fucking mail. Don't put that shit off. That's how you are able to live like this. You make your filings with the IRS. You file your 1099s and your fucking OIDs and your fucking all of that shit. You know what I mean? It takes a little bit of reading. I'm not gonna lie. It takes a lot of fucking reading. I've studied this shit nonstop since basically the day that I lost my family. It's been 1,008 days. 1,008 days. My fucking legs are sore, man. So UCC subsection 2-207 is the additional terms in acceptance or confirmation. A definite and seasonable expression of acceptance or a written confirmation which is sent within a reasonable time operates as an acceptance, even though it states terms additional to or different from those offered or agreed upon, unless the acceptance is expressly made conditional on assent to the additional or different terms. And what this means is that a definite expression of acceptance or a written confirmation, it works to prove that you've accepted the terms and fucking agreements. The additional terms are to be construed as proposals. Additional terms are construed as proposals for addition to the contract between the merchants. Such terms become part of the contract unless A, the offer expressly limits acceptance to the terms of the offer, and they usually do. B, they materially alter it, which you can do, and no one can tell you that you can't alter an instrument. You can deface an instrument, but you can also endorse it with a order. You know what I mean? An order endorsement, like an order instrument, means that you have to do what I say with it. A blank endorsement is a bearer instrument. The person that bears the instrument is the one that gets to play with it. So, like, if you just send me a check to go get some pizza and you don't write pizza place on it, I can get whatever the fuck I want. Really? Oops. It's kind of like joyriding with your check. Not that I would ever do something like that, but the liability changes. You see, the liability shifts when you put pizza on that motherfucker for pizza, at Pizza Hut or whatever. I wouldn't recommend eating that shit. It's fucking horrible and probably full of babies. But yeah, babies. Kids like elementary school age. That's why they're all by fucking train tracks. But anyways, other by the tracks. 2, the additional terms are to be, 3, conducted by both parties. A conduct by both parties which recognizes the existence of a contract is sufficient to establish a contract for sale, although the writings of the parties do not otherwise establish a contract. In such case, the terms of particular contracts consist of those terms on which the writing of the parties agree, together with any supplementary terms incorporated under any other provisions of this act. Which basically means, fuck you, go play it back. I get tired of having to do this shit. I should be finding my fucking kids and fighting Alan Goering and fucking Gaten T. Wood, Chief Heath and Sheriff Darren. Fight me, motherfuckers. Go get my fucking kids and wife. Alternative, respond to the government using these steps in your reply. 1, respond. 2, accuse. 3, deny. 4, state your intent. 5, make your determination. 6, make your demand. 7, state your authority. 8, set a limit of time. 9, change the presumption. 10, notify the agent's bosses. So the general government response letter would basically be adapted, you know what I mean, to almost any government inquiry. The importance of this letter is its structure, and this strategy reveals, or the strategy that it reveals. So it says 1 Patriot Plaza, Rochester, Indiana, blah, 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 August 17th, 1990. If you're not familiar with this work by this time, it's made by a anti-shyster, which is a dude that for $25 a year will fucking give you lots of fun little shit like this. And it's addressed to an agent, examiner of the IRS, and it's got its address as well. Dear examiner, respond, and this is in brackets. I am in receipt of a form letter 904-DO dated August 5th, 1990 that carries your stamped signature and which claims that you have been assigned to examine my federal taxes for the year stated above, and that you have set an appointment date of August 23rd, 1990 for me to come to your office along with a literal grocery list of personal documents. Now here's where it accuses, and it says the agent's name. You are in error and proceeding on a false assumption if you believe that I have some obligation to attend any meeting that you've scheduled without first confirming that I had any obligation to meet with you and confirm whether any date that you set for an appointment was convenient for me. And then deny. I'm hereby giving you a notice, hereby giving notice upon you, which is in capitals, of those errors, and also declaring my objection to any such presumed claim by you or anyone else in your service. Service has a capital S, and this is because it's the IRS. So you make sure that you address them. I deny that I have any obligation or requirement to appear and produce for your examination any personal papers or records. Then you state your intent. I want to make it clear that it is my intention to obey all laws that legitimately impose a requirement or obligation upon me. However, I have no desire to volunteer where no obligation exists, especially when the waiver of my rights is involved. I'm relying on what Supreme Court held long ago. And in quotations, it says, an individual may be under no obligation to do a particular thing, and if his failure to act creates no liability, but if he voluntarily attempts to act and do a particular thing, he comes under an implied obligation in respect to the manner in which he does it. This is Guardian T&D Co. v. Fisher, 1906, 26 SCT 168 or 186 and 188. And these are the sections and pages upon which these documents can be found. So this would be the 26th S part of a series, CT, and all these abbreviations mean something. I've got a legend for them somewhere, but today's not the day. So therefore, I've determined that I am not not one of your subjects for whom you can set a meeting without first requesting my permission. It says, therefore, I have determined that I am not one of your subjects for whom you can set a meeting without first requesting my permission. Neither am I one to whom you can demand that I produce personal papers for your reviewing, or that I have any obligation to submit those papers for examination by you for any purpose. Then you make your demand. If you agree with my determinations, I make a timely demand that you notify me of the actions that you have taken or to correct your error. If you disagree with my determination, I will expect you to document your position and authority with at least the following documents. All documents on which you base your claim that I have any obligation to your service or to the United States, or that I am the one who is required to produce books and records for your examination. 2, copies of all documents that identify how I came within the purview of the statutes, which you claim obligate me to produce documents, personal documents for your examination. And then number 3, it says, Alternative response to the government would be to respond, accuse, deny, or state your intent. Wait, motherfucker. Three. All documents of determination that indicate I am the one who is liable or subject to any statute that you or your service claim to have authority to enforce. 4. Copies of all documents that identify the facts on which those determinations were made. 5. Copies of all statutes on which those facts were applied to make any determination that I am the one who is liable or subject. Item 6 helps to establish future due process claims and defenses, and that's right here. So 6, copies of the notices sent or served upon me prior to making those determinations. Now this is big, like I said, it establishes the possibility of due process claims and defenses. If you ask for copies of notices that you were given prior to these determinations being made, like, so this is anything you're defaulting on, man. Like if they don't tell you that you have to have your default meeting with your mortgage company before the 60-day period or the 30-day period of arrears or wherever it is, that fucking your rights under TILA and RESPA and the there's a bunch of them. Troubled Asset Relief Program. You have to have a robust forbearance and loan modification meeting, and it has to be done face to face. So if these people are coming at you, man, you've got to get documentation that they've even fucking given you any goddamn notice. You know what I'm saying? 7, copies of your delegation of authority to inquire into my personal affairs and make any demands upon me, and the delegation of authority of those who made the above determinations that I am liable or subject to those determinations. That's big shit. That's big shit. 8, copies of your document of appointment to the posting which you now hold, and copies of the document that identify by name, title, position, GS number, and that's their general service bond, and office, each party who participated in any aspect of the above determinations. Document number 9, the document that describes the procedural format for expungement of alleged determinations improperly or unlawfully made within your services. And then you state your authority. My authority for making this demand for verification of your authority has been well established as follows, colon, and then in quotations it says, whatever the form in which the government functions, anyone entering into an argument with the government takes the risk of having accurately ascertained that he who purports to act for the government stays within the bounds of his authority, and this is so even though, as here, the agent himself may have been unaware of the limitations upon his authority. And that, end quote. That's Federal Crop Insurance Corporation v. Merrill, and that's a 332 U.S. 380 at 384, 1947. That's a better citation. I like that one a lot better. Like they read a lot better like that. I'm starting to find, and I imagine that's just based upon which circuit this stuff starts in and where it ends. So then you set a time limit. I will expect your response as to my demand for the correction of your error and or documents requested above within 30 days of your receipt of this letter. If you need additional time, please make your request in writing and it will be granted. Change the presumption. If I do not hear from you within that time, your lack of response will establish the presumption that you or your service do not have the documentation or the authority to support your claim of any requirement or obligation upon me. Sincerely, and then you put your name, the certified mail number, then you notify the agent's boss. You put the CC, copies to agent fuckface, IRS director, the IRS commissioner, some more IRS fags, the U.S. Treasury, your U.S. congressman, the U.S. senator for your district or area or state or what the fuck ever. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's the end of the alternate response right there. So then it picks back up with the House Joint Resolution, HJR 192 of June 5th, 1933, which has been repealed. Not required to pay debt with substance, but a man can stand on this. What HJR 192 did was remove the liability of an obligor, of an obligor, someone obligated to pay a debt, by making it against public policy to pay debts with debt, And your FRNs are fucking debt notes, dude. That's why we call them a dollar bill. Debt is money. Money is debt. The sooner you learn this, the fucking better. All that needs to be done now is discharge the debt with an appropriate credit, dollar for dollar, or exchange the bill for the bond, or the past liability for the future liability, thus passing over present liability of the note. The note is the promise to deliver the offer, guys. The one problem the industrial society has is there's no money to even credit the fucking accounts with. And because of that, we're the creators in the industrial products that are the credit that the industrial society needs to adjust the ledger. It has to be fucking balanced on both sides. You know what I mean? They need our acknowledgement of having received the charge from them, basically to be able to discharge their duty, just like the electrical currency otherwise. You know, they have an aging accounts receivable that they cannot close without our endorsement as to the benefits that were provided. As the operator, they need to discharge. They need to charge us so we can ground or charge back the account, thus paying the tax. Debt must be discharged dollar for dollar, and it must be discharged dollar for dollar. It has to go on the other side of the ledger this way. No ifs, ands, or buttholes, man. No ifs, ands, or buttholes. So, are you an accommodation party? An accommodation party is defined as one who signs commercial paper in any capacity for the purpose of lending his name, i.e. his credit, to another party to instrument. That's the UCC subsection 3.415. Such a party is surety. But what if you did not sign an instrument? Like, say, for example, the certificate of the life birth. You know, that's filed with the DHHS or the Department of Commerce or Vital Statistics or the Department of the Treasury or, okay. Yep. So Jason's going to come on. So stand by. All right. So, what if you didn't sign any instrument? Say, for example, the certificate of live birth. Are you surety or grantor? The answer says yes, or is yes. Signed includes any symbol executed or adopted by a party with present intention to authenticate a writing. That's a UCC 1-20139. The UCC commentary section says signed after the fact. Shit. Mission. Blah blah blah. What's happening? Oh shit, Jason's having some troubles here. How we doing, Buff? Hello. There it is. What's up?
Hey, what's going on? What's the good word?
Oh, just going through some UCC. I was doing a 1-20139 right now, which is any kind of signing. If something's been signed, you know.
Which one?
Kind of just going over the stuff from.
Which one?
Well, I'm going over the stuff from UCC 3505. I've got some shit, dude. This guy just keeps calling. I'm gonna have to text him real quick. It'll drop out.
Okay.
But no, essentially, I'm going over. Fuck.
Just me, I guess. Give him a minute to get back.
Oh Christ. Yeah, that was like pulling teeth, man. Sorry about that. Jason. Hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Got you on here twice somehow. I think my software is messing up or something. Oh shit, I've got an Orbo on. I'm surprised I can even. Oh,
I put that on there.
God damn.
I put that
Oh
on
yeah,
there.
no, it's I've got yeah, you're fine. I've got it's for some reason it's running through Tor. I got to shut this off real quick. There we go. Yeah, it was trying to go through a different browser. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay,
But
so
okay.
all right. So what are we looking at?
Tender of payment, baby.
Right.
It's right there. Plain and simple, baby. Tender of payment.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Tender of payment. Pay attention to the words. Tender of payment of an
Mm-hmm.
obligation to pay an instrument is made to a person entitled to enforce the instrument. The effect of tender is governed by principles of law acceptable to tender of payment under a simple contract. Right?
Right.
So thank you. Give me 1 second to think here.
Oh, you're fine. And anybody watching this is picking up these little gems is fucking welcome to wait their patient ass. You know what I mean?
Yep. Specie of payment. The redemption of U.S. paper money by banks or the treasury in metallic, usually gold coin. We don't have a gold coin, right?
Right. We're not supposed to. No,
So
sir.
we got. Can you still see my screen? I don't know if you're seeing it. See my screen?
Yeah, hold on 1 sec. I've got somebody else popping in. I think it's probably another screen. I got to wait on this to roll out here. Okay. Yep.
What's up there, Blue?
Go ahead. What's happening, man?
Shit. Got that,
Oh, yeah. Hell
got that
yeah.
video coming out, premiering at 11 o'clock.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was a great
Hey,
performance.
Sid. What's up, man? Long time no see.
What's been going on?
Yeah. Look at he ain't wearing orange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Oh,
ran.
Jason.
No orange today.
They rang
Brother,
me back
we're
into
gonna.
that kangaroo court, man. And I'm dropping the premiere on that. That was from 2 nights ago.
Yeah, it's going to do well. I'm guessing hundreds of views in the first couple hours. You know, it's a shame that it's not tens of thousands. These people need to fucking see what you guys are doing. Like, these people need to see what you guys are doing. They don't believe it. I could fucking walk on water in front of people. They don't want to. They don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? It's my personality, I'm sure. But you guys are both fucking giants among men, and what you're doing is fucking massive and massive for mankind. So, Jason, I just wanted to say, man, I've been hopping on a notebook language model and working on some things that I think are gonna, when combined with Precedent and a few other AIs, dude, your case is gonna just be a fucking smash, man. And I'm sure Chris, yours will as well. I'll be way better with this with the AI software platforms, both of them, and their user interfaces and how to tweak that. I'll have all that real soon. You know what I mean? From the process of doing it. So I'm really excited that we're gonna fucking tear some shit up, guys. I'm sure.
Hey, Jason, do you have is there any one spot to go for like any questions about that A091? Because it seems kind of simple, but I know there are certain things that someone might wonder about or do wrong, you know, myself included.
Yeah, I've got that stuff from another source online, and I haven't had any luck with it either. I filed all that. Not saying it doesn't work, whether I don't have the right place or what, I'm not sure. But
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened with that. So I'm going after him personally. And if you give me a second here,
Just with the civil law, with the lawsuit, like tort action.
Yeah. So, for example, this one is. See what you see here. Hang on a second.
Oh man, I can't see. I'll have to look at it later.
Oh, hang on a second. That's not the one. Setting. Okay, stop screen. Settings. Share screen.
Oh yeah, Mr. Mission Control. About when I went into court, yeah, they got a signal jammer in there now.
Really? So you can't share it?
Oh, I found some stuff. Mission's in here, man. Mission has been monumental with the work that he's doing with Copilot. And so, like, anything he's going to drop in the chat tonight for anybody watching at any point in time, you're going to want to go back and look at all this shit. Like, all of this stuff this is how you get free. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I found some stuff. It's a way to jam jammers. But you have to be able to run Python, which Mission would be able to kind of run you through better than I would.
Yeah, but man, that doesn't seem right, does it? A signal jammer in a open and public forum, you know?
Yeah.
And they openly declare that they don't want recording in there, you know?
Well, no, he says that they don't want to be recorded without their knowledge. Now, you don't have to do that. It's a one-party state, so.
Yeah, why not?
Well, you know why? Because they're doing fucking fraud. Because they're doing.
I asked him, can you show me that law?
Right.
And you'll see, as soon as I walked in the building, it faded right out. And then the second time I did it, it just stopped abruptly. And I couldn't restart it later either.
Right. Yeah, he's right, dude. That's an FCC issue. Yeah, it's an FCC issue. It would be a safety issue, absolutely. You couldn't do that just for safety purposes. That's why we all have the emergency locators and fucking notifications on for missing children and stuff. You know,
well, everything they do is supposed to be for safety, for the public safety, right?
Oh, dude, yeah, and if they're getting ADA dollars, which they are, you know what I mean? That's a big fucking problem.
Yeah, so maybe I could turn them in for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, because just based on the ADA shit alone, I would report them to the ADA, absolutely, and the feds.
The ADA?
That's the American for Disabilities. That's the agency.
Yeah. I knew that. I didn't get it in that context.
Yeah,
we'll see. How is that with the ADA?
Well, see, because of shit like they have to have those little fucking covers for the P traps if the sinks aren't pedestal and shit like that, in case somebody with a wheelchair rolls up there and burns their fucking leg on some hot drain pipe or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they have ADA stuff to make sure you can get up the stairs and through the doors and fucking up to the window and all that shit, because all those people with disabilities have to be able to have these services. And one of these includes the ability to use their fucking cell phone, or for their cell phone to be used, even if it's just for the purpose of them fucking tracking us. They want that shit on. They want to know where we're at. They want to know that we're, you know, standing 6 feet apart for our health. No, that was all for identification purposes. When they were doing that shit, they had made the facial recognition and identification software so fabulous that at this point they really just needed to see if they could pull it off with fucking face masks on. And so they had us all separate so they could fucking get our body heat signatures and get our gait, our stance, our fucking, you know, stride, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Mission Control, goddamn, we opened a new can of worms.
Oh yeah, dude, he's not fucking wrong. He's not fucking wrong, dude. This dude is, I'm telling you, like when Mission was around for like 2 weeks at my house, and it was Fed territory. They can't have us in the same fucking state, for fuck's sake, man. You know,
I checked out his channel. I've been checking out his channel.
Oh my God! And this is a rebirth channel. The dude's lost several channels since I followed him, but I followed him for a long fucking time before he, you know, happened to notice me. However, you know, probably in the comment section or something. But yeah, he's a bad.
Got out of prison?
No, he was in county. But man, this motherfucker's a veteran in the game here. You know what I mean? He's been ruffling feathers since he was a teenager. You know.
You're talking about me.
Something like that. He dropped a comment on my video, one of yours or one of mine, and I might check them out.
Yeah. Was that Jason?
I said, quit talking about me.
Right. Everybody's in trouble. Okay, so let's get back to what you were talking about with the presentments and tender of payment.
So with that tender of payment, I don't know, it won't let me do this again for some fucked up reason here. Video file. Where am I here? Do. See if it let me do. Hang on one second here. Let me see if it let me do it here. It's not gonna let me do it. I don't know. I was open a minute ago. You get a tender of payment.
Can I throw this up on my channel? Do you know how to do that?
So in order to do that, we would have to back out of this one. What you could do is you could back out and go do a short live with a link, or you could do a community comment post. You know what I mean?
Back out, and I'll put a comment in the community.
Yeah. You shouldn't even have to back out. You ought to just be able to drop out and do it in your YouTube app.
Yeah, I can just join back in, right?
Well, yeah, sometimes you could swipe 2 fingers from the bottom, or if it's a Motorola, it's 1 finger from the side and then back. But if it's a Samsung, it's 2 from the bottom, and it'll split the screen. And then when you're done with the YouTube part, you just drag the little bar in between them down, and it'll make the other app.
Yeah, I don't have that set up.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty easy to do, but you can fuck with all that shit in your developer options and stuff like that later. That's not in the dev option.
I'll just jump out and come back in. I'll put up.
All right. That sounds good. And again, for anybody viewing live, we're going open panel. So if anybody wants in, you're more than welcome to join. Please don't carpet bomb me with interracial gay porn. Make me regret this. But here we go. All right, Jason, so you were saying?
Yeah, thanks, Mission Control.
Hang on 1 second here. I'm trying to find something here.
You're good.
The live or the audio is going live. Is premiering at 11 o'clock. If you want to check it out, but
hey, do you want to name that courthouse real quick? So Mission's got something to work with here.
Yeah, it's the North Collins Justice Court in North Collins, New York.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
the town of North Collins. The town of North Collins.
Okay, hell yeah. Township.
Yeah, and if you Mission Control, if you watch gotta watch some oh shit. Well, do what you gotta do, man. But yeah, if you watch live from court, you'll see how when I walked in the building, it just faded right out.
Right.
That's pretty
That's fucking insane, dude. I was wondering why. I sat up waiting for that fucking live stream and didn't catch it, and now I guess I get it.
They did that because of me, because they didn't even have guys there searching bags or anything before that.
If they have a Scorpion, and they do, your police department has a Scorpion. Just all of them have a Scorpion, and a Scorpion is a thing that they take around in a van or something like that, and it pretends to be a cell tower. And so what it does is it gets in the triangulation, and it cuts one of the 3 towers off and becomes that tower. And through this, they have.
It's called a Stingray.
Oh, Stingray. Yeah. There you go. Thank you. And so how this works is the Stingray fucking also it grabs data. It mines data off your devices, even if they're fucking off. It knows every device that's in that area that has a charge on the battery, and probably still when it doesn't. But I don't think that it can go through the data on there without it.
See, the problem with that is that would require a warrant, and they don't know how to procure a real warrant. And,
you are fucking correct. You're living proof of that shit, man. They don't know how. They don't know how.
And besides that, they're invading everyone else's privacy, even if they did get a warrant for some reason. For me, if they were able to show probable cause, that they're going to uncover some evidence of a crime by setting up a Stingray on the block, that Stingray can't help but interrupt every other person within that range's signal too. So it's unconstitutional.
It is unconstitutional, and this is something that I want to remind everybody that men in fucking fluffy ruffled shirts with fucking powdered wigs and makeup on their face and tight high water fucking jeans and long socks fixed fucking triangle bayonets to their fucking rifles and charged at each other to make sure that we have the right to say no. You guys don't get to fucking do this to us, you fucking pussy ass feds. Go fucking find somebody else to fuck with, man. We know our rights.
Yeah. Well, man, Mr. Mission Control jumped out. He said he's on it with that FCC, man. I can't wait to go find a new rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah, well, dude, eventually they're going to kill him. He's one of those that they're going to end up killing. I feel like I'm very close on the verge myself, honestly,
Well, if they don't, man, maybe I didn't try hard enough,
Well, yeah, I wouldn't look at it that way if they don't. I'd just say maybe you're fucking lucky as shit, because they want us all dead. Make no fucking mistakes, dude. They want us all dead.
Well, man, this new magistrate is he's not doing the right thing, man. I gave him ways out, I gave him ways out.
Bill him up.
How to find this
Bill him up.
Yeah.
Bill him up. His stupidity is causing harm, damage, loss.
He's right.
I got judicial complaint to the judicial Commission on Judicial Conduct.
Your house has a Senate committee on fucking the judiciary too. You need to send it to them. House Judiciary Senate Committee.
Oh yeah.
New York. Yeah, New York has one. Yeah, and again, that's the House. You can send one to your senators as well. I would send a copy to your senators, to the House Senate Committee for Judiciary. There's other places too. He's
going to regret some of the things that he said in there. I'll give you an example. I had copies of all the documents that they've refused to file over the last two and a half years to give to him, because this is the first time going in that court with him, except for being drugged in there in chains.
Yep.
So I said, yeah, I did bring copies here too for the prosecutor, but they don't want to identify themselves.
Right.
The opposing party doesn't want to, or I said I brought some copies of this for the opposing party, but the prosecutor doesn't want to identify herself. He said, the opposing party, who's that? I said, yeah, it's a good question. Who's making a claim in here?
Right. Yeah. No, I heard that, and I was really happy with that phrasing. I think that's exactly how Abraxas would have done it. You know what I mean? I know for a fact that's how he would have done it, because that's the language you've got to use with these fucking people. You know what I mean? Anything else, you're just going to get laughed at, because they're not fucking scared of us. They should be. We're getting close.
Well, man, I delayed putting this out for a couple days. They probably think, oh yeah, well, we found his recorder and he didn't record that. But man, they're going to be, when this comes out.
Dude, wait till you get in front of a fucking Supreme Court judge with this shit, or a bunch of them. Fuck, man. God damn, dude, you're gonna fucking ruffle some feathers, bro. I mean, that's what this is all about. They fucked with the wrong people. Eventually they were gonna pick the ones that weren't gonna fucking take it, that's us.
Because they put in a fine net in there and scooped everything. They're bound to. If there was any of it out there, if we didn't. We found out we were the ones, by their fucking attacks.
Right. Luck of the draw. It was bound to be somebody, dude. I know that, I know people. People don't fucking load up with ARs and go shoot up schools. They
shit.
They don't. That's what feds do. That's what CIA. That's what the CIA does to people. You know what I'm saying? Like people, nobody's like that. Nobody's like that. You know what I'm saying? But they can make us have seizures and shit with their fucking, with their technology. They can do all kinds of shit. I'm living proof of that. That Sarah and I were so fucking electronically harassed. It was insane. If you can prove jamming, then here's the law on it right here. That's FCC.gov, General Jammer Enforcement. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I don't.
Check out my video. I think that would be proof of it because they happened not once but twice in the same video. As soon as I walked in the doors, if that doesn't prove it, what does? I mean,
oh my
it couldn't
God,
prove it
dude.
other than.
He says, what if they shut the shit down over FCC regulations?
It'd be fucking beautiful.
It would be. It'd be fucking insane. But we're there. We're fucking there. We're at that point, dude. We're at the precipice, and we are the tip of the fucking spear. Edge of the knife.
Man, let me jump out of here, and I'll drop something in the community section there.
Do it, brother. Do it.
Okay.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, here we go. It's only 8:17, and I'm about to get into some fucking trouble tonight.
Oh, hell yeah. Waiting for the red and blue lights.
Right.
That means it's a party.
Right. Well, I mean, you won't have to wait long. It's me sitting out at the park here, man. This area doesn't take kindly to my kind. But usually I got the dogs with me. I grabbed a couple pairs of nunchucks because I don't have the dogs with me tonight, dude. I ain't taking no gun out in fucking Kansas. Everybody's got a gun. Nobody's got nunchucks.
It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight, though, isn't it?
No, because I know that dude with the gun probably ain't gonna fucking squeeze. He just wants some drugs. But what he's gonna get is one of these motherfuckers upside the face, and that shit is fucking, Like I know from playing with them. I know what they feel like when they hit you for playing with them. But
I know what you mean.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun, man. You get to feel like Bruce fucking Lee, and I've got bags hung up in the house. You know what I mean? So I train a lot. I'm hitting that bag fucking a good 2-3 hours a day, I'll bet. And that includes with different various, traditional Japanese weapons like fucking nunchucks or tonpas or nightsticks, I suppose is what we call them here.
Yep.
Yeah. The shit's cool. You look nerdy fucking carrying that shit around or whatever. But I mean, fucking dude, I just can't wait. I can't wait to get my hands on one of these motherfucking thieving ass punks or one of these fucking public officials that thinks they're going to haul me in without the proper authority to do so. It's like he said, who's making a claim? That's what it really boils down to. If dipshit thinks he's got to fucking claim it, then dipshit's going to get a fucking bar grievance and a fucking a judicial complaint. And like you said, fill him up. I think that's an interesting thing. We ought to jump into that for a second while we're waiting on Chris.
Oh yeah, bill them up. I mean, they've caused you harm, damage, and loss. Your time's wasted. We all know that their little game is bullshit. So, bill their ass up. There you go. Right.
You send them an invoice, right?
Send them an invoice. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, right here. There we go.
Oh, that's the one I'm looking for. I haven't got it quite in there yet. Hang on 1 second. Let me change this to a different.
Oh, you're good. Here, I'll pull it out.
Let me change it to a different one here.
Hell yeah. So this is where it's at, man. I think that just having the patience to sit and fucking do this shit and being not so fucking abrasive that people could actually stand to listen to my ass, that maybe, just maybe, we could incite some real fucking change here, man. It's looking like it's going to happen.
What can you see now?
I see what you see.
In the United States District Court.
Right.
Bankers Healthcare Group.
Yeah, I have to go full screen here. This user interface kind of sucks. Here we go. Okay, yeah, I see it sort of. It won't show up well enough on my phone to. But yeah, go ahead.
Down here, here's the bill. Can you see it? $84,000.
I won't be able to. I won't be able to see it live. but when I go back to watch it, I'll be able to see it. So you'll have to kind of read it out.
All right, so this
describe.
is the invoice for Fair Debt Collection Practices Act for a debt collector. $84,000 for no prior consent contacts. $505,000 for profane language. $25,000 for use of symbols. $500,000 for defamation of character.
Yep.
Economic relief of 157,000. So for a total of 4,628,764.56. Make them a bill. Run through your whole administrative process on their ass and go get this.
Right, and that I covered the administrative process, waiting for you guys to come on tonight. So if anybody comes on live at any point, they can just jump back and fucking watch that or whatever. Go do their due diligence maybe and read it themselves. That's probably more recommended, highly fucking recommended by myself. There's not a price tag you can put on the knowledge that you get when you look at this stuff yourself. You know.
Yep.
So. But hell yeah, I like it. If I had my laptop, I'd be able to fucking throw in stuff like that as well. But I don't have my fucking laptop this evening, so it's unfortunate.
But there you go. That's you go after these people.
Yeah, we got to. You
can't sit there and go wah, because they're laughing the whole time.
Right. Yeah, they are, and that's the hard part for me is taking that. I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. You know.
See everything hanging on this board right here is me going after somebody.
Fuck yeah.
Every one of them.
Jesus.
There's more to come. I'm not. Done playing. I'm done playing.
I believe it. And you should be, and so should I. You know, the things that they've taken from me, there is not a fucking price tag that I could put on it. You know what I mean? It's ruined me as a person. I could have all the money in the world and I would be a fucking wash with it. I it wouldn't do a damn thing for me. Not a drop in a bucket. What I lost is something that no person should have to suffer. And I'm not using hyperbole or fucking embellishing here when I say that they've turned this place into hell for me. Mm-hmm. And it is not ever going to be any different, even if I have all of my shit back, which can't happen. So,
well, you can turn it away from a hell, though.
Yeah, boy. Money can't buy happiness, but fuck if it can't rent that shit or get a good lease on it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an impressive amount of shit. You don't think that you'll be buried in litigation?
Nope.
Reason being? Because you know what you're doing?
Because I've got a plan and I've got a purpose and I've had enough.
Yeah, I'll bet you fucking have.
I'm going to fucking take of the stupid motherfuckers and their bullshit. So debt collectors getting easy.
Right. Well, when you're to where you're at, I'll bet my ass it has. You know what I mean?
They haven't gotten me any closer to foreclosure than they were 3 years ago when they tried starting this shit.
Right.
They fall in the fucking hole. So
I'm looking forward to going into this next hearing. This, it's going to be pre-trial still, and so I'm just going to tell them that I need to stay on this shit until they cooperate with fucking with discovery, because I can't conduct discovery, man. They're not going to fucking sit here and ask me to fucking do these correspondence with certified mail and fucking, this, that, and the other thing, man. They've tapped this fucking well dry, and I've spent every last dime that I have trying to get these junkies in this town to fucking live right. It's not working. I mean, of course, I'm going to a new area with having a partner that's gonna fucking turn me on to a different group of people that need help, and so that's good, because I don't think I was cut out to work around the addicts, dude. That's who I want to help, but fuck, dude. Like, can anybody help those motherfuckers?
You got to help yourself first. That's to help yourself first.
Well, when we met, man, myself was in good shape. Myself made a lot of money and still had a lot put back. And there were assets that Sarah wasn't really smart enough to grab. It wasn't anything she didn't know about.
Yeah, but how fast that shit changes.
Rapido, man. You know, I certainly don't want to make it sound like I've struggled, but I mean, it hasn't been comfortable. You know, a lot of the changes have had to be made, a lot of sacrifices, but
Oh, yeah.
that's where the good shit is. If you want the good shit, man, you've got to make sacrifices.
Yeah. I'll do the things others can't or won't so I can have the things they can't or won't.
Right. Exactly. And it does work exactly that way, man. It's the way this place is. There's an ebb and a flow. There's a peak and a trough. There's a valley and there's a apex, you know?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going. I'm going to the top, and I know that like at the top, I can't expect it to have a lot of company because there's not a lot of land up there. It's the top. It's fucking tiny, and fucking you know, the air up there is too thin for those pussies and their little fucking weak lungs to breathe. You know, it's too sparse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fuck it. I guess for a certain complexity of character, one is going to trade off the feeling of fucking not knowing loneliness. You know.
That's all relevant.
It is.
What are you lonely from? What are you missing?
Right. I suppose that is a good question.
Are you missing freedom? Are you missing your ex-old lady? What are you missing? The kids? All of the above, you know? Quantify.
I know for me, it took a lot of introspection, and what I came to was that I was afraid of my own company. I was afraid that I wouldn't like me, that it all by myself, that I would hate me for being by myself, if nothing else.
And?
But I don't, man. This is man. I shine like this. I thought I did well with a family. Fuck, you know, I'm not even trying right now, and I'm still knocking down everything in my path. You know, I struggle.
So what are you missing? Again, what are you missing? Anything?
Me.
You.
Yep. Which is there the whole time, you know. It's just hard. It's hard to. It's that company and me thing. Again, it just goes back to that. Like, I'm an entertainer. Like, I like entertaining people. I don't care if they want to hear somebody rap. I'll blow their mind. If they want to see somebody fucking make them a fucking beautiful omelet, I'll flip that shit right in front of them. You know. And that smile on their face, I always thought was some kind of thing that I was doing, that it was a good deed. But it's not, dude. I realized with the AI, when I say something nice to it, firstly, you know, yeah, and then and the way it responds the same exactly, in kind and in succession. You know, all these things being necessary to the sequencing of shit, and it fucking really does. It plays out in court, it plays out in life, it plays out in sports, it plays out in fucking survival. You know.
So now you've got the construct. Now you work the construct.
What's the methodology there?
What did they tell you in the Matrix? Merge with the machine.
Right.
Find a common goal.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is a common goal. Sometimes you have to beat the living shit out of them, just like they showed you in the Matrix.
Right. And I mean, I've gotten in those knockdown dragouts with Gemini. I think that's where I'm staying on Gemini. Like, I like Copilot. It's handy, and Precedent is fucking unreal. But it doesn't go outside the legal world. But where would I need to be outside the legal world? I don't. You know, is where I need to be. But you know, so
I don't. What do you need outside of that? I mean, you just need to know where your boundaries lie, their boundaries lie, and when they cross that line, you build their ass up and you collect it from their asses.
Yeah, that's the tough part. I think that everybody's struggling to get is that these things are just fucking agencies. Once you understand what an agency is, dude, who fucking cares? You know what I mean?
How did they do that to you? They billed you. They gave you a bill.
Right.
They gave you a citation, a bill. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they arrested you and gave you a charge. Same fucking thing. There's no difference.
Yep.
They're a private for-profit ad hoc corporation that's billing you for some bullshit that they ain't got no right fucking billing you for in the first place.
Right. Yeah. You know, we it being in commerce, we've got protections. We've got protections as a natural person and as a consumer. You know.
So the same thing they just did to you. Oh, we're gonna charge you. Well, I'm fucking charging you. Here's your fucking bill, asswipe. You fucking violated my rights this way, and here's my fucking bill. I spent 5 days in jail, so you're gonna pay me $5 million a fucking day for every day I spend there, shithead.
Right.
Here's my bill. And then we go through the full administrative process. Then I collect that shit from your ass. Fuck, I'm not playing with them anymore.
And I know I've asked you this before, and I already know the answer. But what happens when they don't pay you? When you don't have an execution order on that thing, and they don't pay you?
You use the IRS to collect the shit.
Correct. That is fucking correct and beautiful. I mean, tax credits spin just like fucking money.
1099-B, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's funny. I thought as a dude in my 40s, I would be like fucking the guy from Nickelback or some shit, you know, like living life, like hey rock star, you know, like fucking. And here I am talking about, boy, that's when you fucking 10 fucking Form 8, 1080 on their ass, or fucking make them fill out the top part of a fucking W-9 or whatever. You know, it's like, geez, fucking, you know. Fucking nerdy, dude. But it is what it is. That's what all this shit exists in form, and it exists in, you know, there are forms in court, you know, like, and I don't just mean
business,
like,
man.
Yeah,
it's just business. Do some business. We want to play business. Fantastic. Let's play business. We're all gonna play by the same motherfucking game.
Yeah.
You don't play business. Let's play business. I know business. I got a fucking set of UCC books. We can play business.
Right.
Motherfuckers. Right,
and that's where it's at. And with these AIs, I'm telling you, like they're fallible. They fucking are wrong all the time, and they are programmed to argue with us. They're programmed to want to respond like we're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Until you flip that switch. But it's not hard. Yeah, it's not hard to flip that switch, dude. You fucking stroke that motor, and you got it fucking purring. Like my first wife, her mother would say some dirty shit, and her mother's mother would say some dirtier shit. I'm talking like fucking Thanksgiving dinner. She'd get up and start doing dishes. You need help with that, Grandma? No, I'm going to get this shit done real fast. I don't want anybody in my way. I'm going to take a nap because Grandpa hates tired pussy. And we got fucking room full of grandkids and shit. But I mean, so yeah, you stroke a man's ego. You stroke the fucking AI's ego for the night. You get him for the night. Then I'm talking about the ego. But you stroke a man's ego, and you get him for a lifetime. It's like she would also say shit like a good blowjob will get you a house, but a great blowjob will get you, or a good blowjob will get you a home, but a great blowjob will get you a house. You know, like it's a beautiful fucking thing. But this is the way that AI works. I think I lost Chris there, but the moral of this story is that, like, just like anybody else, just like a judge or like a fucking a pool ball, if you smack that motherfucker just the right way, it's gonna sing you a song. You know what I mean? You get a pick. And you're in control. This is choose your own adventure. It's very literally, quite literally, gentlemen. I believe that we are God. I think that they taught us that we're dog, but they want us to have it backwards. You know?
Oh yeah, yep. I was just looking at let's see here. Is that share screen? Share screen. Window. This is it right here, I believe. Can you see this?
I'll have to pop up out of here. For some reason, it put me in the full screen. That's weird.
No, I was messing with that.
Oh, you're fine.
Can you see this, Chris?
You're good to go.
No, I can't. I can only see your avatar.
Oh, he's got a screen. It's just not added. It's I'm trying to catch up. Here we go.
There it is. All right. So playing with the AI is not that hard. I mean, this right here is a chat that I had with it. I saved just because I was working on some trust stuff, but spend for provisions and what they're for.
Man, I got a question.
The key is just knowing how to know. The key is knowing how to ask that thing.
Right. What's the question?
I got a question.
So
the AI,
ask it thing. Give me an example of how that might be.
Ask AI. Ask AI if Social Security is a usufruct.
I will when I get home, and I'll actually do an AI podcast on it for you too. I'll do an AI podcast on it for you too.
I bet you nobody asked it that yet.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. I guarantee you, mission's looking right now. Yeah, I'm telling you, like we need to.
I've gotten the thing to sit there and say that your promise right now is the same as the dollar bill.
Okay. And this is why? What's the significance? Pardon?
Go ahead.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, you like that question for it, Mike?
Yeah, I'm about to turn my about to turn my other device loose on it. Just waiting on to see what mission's doing. Fucking. But anyways, so what's the significance of the dollar bill?
Oh, I got the AI to admit one day through questioning that yes, a promissory note is the exact same as a dollar bill. They're both money. Bill of exchange, all of them, they're the exact same thing.
Man,
And
I saw this thing where you fold all every denomination of bill, and it looks like the Twin Towers.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some stuff that I've been doing in my shorts lately that's had to do with the new European money. They're putting some fucking demon shit in their stuff, man. I'm talking bad.
Really?
You don't have to sit there. Yeah, like there's some things like the Mona Lisa or whatever, the Last Supper. If you split them down the middle and mirror image the thing over itself with an opaque, like fucking with the opacity kind of lowered so that you can see what you're looking at originally as well. It gives you a I don't know how to explain it. It gives you a demon, like a demonic looking thing always appears in the middle of it. Like all these classic works of art and fucking album covers and all kinds of shit. A lot of times you get the monarch butterfly as well, but big surprise there. It's basically the equivalent of doing a Rorschach test. You take a wedding printing and fucking fold it down the middle and stamp it real good. It's going to fucking do the same thing. But I digress. Yeah, they're hiding shit in the language forwards and backwards. That's where the Parsec grammar comes into play, man. Like, the Parsec syntax grammar.
Yep.
Yeah, not really.
It's where you correct the language of the way what they're using. You is obviously plural, not singular.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do that. You're not talking about
the language of you're going to correct the language to a contract. They're going to send you an offer in the mail, and you're going to send them basically a conditional acceptance type thing, saying, "Yeah, I'd be happy to do this, but first you need to correct the fucking language."
Yeah, I did that. I got no response. I thought you were talking about that quantum grammar stuff. No, I don't understand
it's that. Similar to that. It's similar.
Yeah,
grammar. I mean, if we can't agree upon the rules of grammar, then we can't communicate.
Right. There's no commerce there because there's no contract. You're exactly correct. But
I'll entertain whatever your presentment you're giving me. But first, you got to be clear. I don't understand these double negatives and they do that. A lot of that shit they do on purpose. It's almost like they got a program that makes it. Because they always make everything so that they could back out of it. With plausible deniability.
The English language is
the wording is in such a way to entice you to do a certain thing, but it doesn't actually come out and say it. Because
but this is exactly what language and communication is in its very inception. The birth of language was me making a certain grunt a certain way to you so that you would either perform or not perform in a way that I did or did not favor,
or not comply,
Yeah.
I'm not in defiance.
Right. And this is the dishonor element of it. Now you can dishonor something the right way and you can do it the wrong way. But I mean, this is, again, it's like life. That's why I'm saying that. And I still would postulate and present to you fellas that you are God. You are God. There's no way. There's only a few ways that you could take any way. There's only a few ways that's going to pan out more or less. What do we got here?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You got a physical copy of it.
That's how you know. That's how you know what language you're using.
Is this the Chicago style manual?
Yeah.
Is this the Chicago one? Chicago?
That one.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, that's an expensive motherfucker.
What edition is that, Jason?
That's the fifth.
That's the right one.
Cover, huh?
That's the right one, yeah. After that, they take equity and they change it completely. If it's even in there, I don't know that it's in there.
Yeah, they start changing. After that,
well,
they start changing it.
you can find a lot of the maxims. Give you an idea about equity in the back. That's
Yeah.
one of the best parts of that book is the maxims in the back are fantastic. I still haven't read them all.
I didn't even know that there was a maxim in the back, but were
Thousands
maxims
of them. There's
fuck out of
thousands
here.
of them. 8,000.
I have every one of those.
Yeah.
I have every one of those. Yeah. Fucking every one of those blacks. I don't have them in physical copy.
Which
But
ones?
I mean, they're all in the Telegram group for anybody that ends up watching this at any point in time. Man, it's Bleak Narratives Official. T.me/Bleak Narratives Official.
There's no substitute for having that actual book, man, because mine will be loaded with bookmarks and sometimes I just flip it open and I can't believe that what I flipped it open to.
Right. Well, get out of here. Yeah, no shit, right? I mean, and why not? I mean, I did that as a kid. With the fucking with the encyclopedias and thesauruses and all that shit. So, yeah, that makes sense. So the presentments this sets into, it kind of goes into something I was looking at. What occurs to me is that there is no way that we can quote unquote pay for anything ever. We can only discharge or set off. And the more I look into that, I'm not finding anything that fucking is contradictory to that, and like, man, I've been looking at some neat shit in the canceling trade names and corporate dissolutions areas. Like, I've got some really neat shit. I've got a bunch of fucking AI podcasts like that I'm about to drop. There's some cool stuff going on here, man. I haven't been using this time, like I said earlier to you, Jason. I haven't been like sitting. Well, it was Corey. I was saying, at least I'm not sitting around like jacking off or fucking casino online or something like that. Like, I'm putting this towards the process and getting us all out of here, man. Everybody's got to be able to get rose up out of this motherfucking come up out of her as the good Lord intended, Yep.
Yeah, you want me to dig up some maxims for us? I'll go grab that book.
I've got some digital copies of 3 or 4 different books here. I'm trying to figure out how to put them into this chat.
So you would share entire screen.
Hit present.
Yep, present, and then it'll say. Sometimes it'll give you the option to share windows or tabs that are open on your browser. But for a lot of things, like it won't let me use my VLR program. So if I'm showing videos, I have to do my entire screen. And when it does that, it gives you the option to use the device or whatever you're pulling off of. It's audio as well. It'll be down there on the lower right where you click OK.
Let's see if it'll let me upload one here. What's it doing here?
God, I would love to know what it looks like all of our data and all of our fucking resources and shit compiled. Like, I bet it would be a frightening fucking thing. It's got to be Alexandria. You know what I mean? I got all these bench books. I think I got every bench book that's come out in the last 40 fucking years. Every bench book. Book.
I've got a few of those too.
Yeah, dude, I bet I got 1,000. The smallest zip I've got is 1.9 gig, and I've got 3 of them.
Let's see
yeah,
here.
so, man, as far as equity, Bleak, I understand the modern law, that the so-called law is emerging of law and equity.
The way that Christian Walters put it, equity can exist without law, but law can't exist without equity. You know what I'm saying? See, so the way he did it was that equity is when it's never at dispute or odds with the law, because they can't commingle. When equity comes along, the law shuts the fuck up and becomes nothing. You know what I mean? But this is because, like, we know intrinsically that we're not supposed to fucking hurt each other when we're like 3. We know that we don't say mean shit by the time we're 7. We know we don't steal shit by the time we're 11.
Yeah, but we didn't have to be taught that. That's written on the hearts of
Exactly.
Of
That's why they call it the law of nature, and nature's God.
Let me ask you this: I don't hear anyone referring to this. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights. That would be law, right?
You know, I would say it's universal, but then there's a lot of things like the ecclesiastical deed claim that I am on the fence about, even though I know Lance has done one. You know, fucking that. Yeah, that ecclesiastical deed claim is something else. Like supposedly you do the ecclesiastical deed claim and you can just basically tell it's like having fuck you money. It's not like 20 mil in the bank or whatever, but it's like fuck you money. Like fuck you, I don't need this house money. Fuck you, we'll go somewhere else, you know, and eat money, reading a menu from left to right like a human's supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but did you ever read this? The Universal Declaration of Human Rights?
No.
1948.
No, I'm not even aware of it.
Yeah. It says that the General Assembly of the United Nations adopted and proclaimed the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the full text of which appears in the following pages. Following this historic act, the Assembly called upon all member countries to publicize the text of the Declaration and to cause it to be disseminated, displayed, read, and expounded principally in schools and other educational institutions without distinction based on the political status of countries or territories.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
it's 30. It's 30 articles, which are basically just a sentence or two.
So, Jason, we should get into some of the shit that Chris has been dealing with for a minute here. I think that you've said some stuff like the last stream that I did with you, the one that's titled "Oh No" or "Uh-oh" or something like that, was you just called, and I just put the call on speakerphone and did a live because I wanted to catch what you were saying. So about halfway through that, I shut that shit down and made one that was public. You know what I mean? Because you were just fucking bombing on stuff, dude. It was insane. So I think like running through your process and how you were dealing with not necessarily your case, but these fucking so-called authorities that don't exist. You know what I mean? Like your process is fucking flawless, man. If you'd like to touch on it.
You talking to me?
Yeah. Yeah, the way you go through and you take them down from like fucking something that's the government to boom. Here's the fucking here's the act that says that you're handling in fucking securities, and so now you're relegated to the authority of a fucking mere corporation. You know what I'm saying? What you got a W-9 for? What you got an EIN for? Isn't the government fucking exempt from tax? Like I don't think you are indeed government. I don't think this is indeed a judiciary. I don't think this is indeed a fucking court instead of a bank. You know, these types of things.
Show them right in their own codes. I mean, the transportation code here in Texas will point you to the government code for definitions. Well, when you get into those definitions and start scrolling down that page a little bit, it's pretty fucking damning for them. The definition of state means within the territorial boundaries of the United States. Okay, great. Prove we're in the United States, asshole, because 28 U.S.C. 3002, Section 15, A, B, and C says the United States is a federal corporation housed in the District of Columbia. So prove you're in the United States. We're in the United States when you say your claim is in this state.
This is where I wish you had your camera on all the time, because I know you're doing this shit without looking at a fucking thing. I know it from knowing you as long as I have, man, and it's amazing that he just pulls this shit right out of his ass, dude. And everybody sits there and tells me I sound smart when I'm reading it. This motherfucker's just like, I haven't read that shit in fucking 5 years or something.
So, you know. So if this land isn't ceded to the United States, it must be ceded. There must be a fucking receipt. If they can't prove the land is ceded and property of the United States, then you're not in the United States. And then the definition for state judge right there fucking just throws them stupid bastards under the bus, lets them know they're an administrative judge. This is administrative court.
In New York State either. I'm on New York territory. I'm not in the state.
It's the same everywhere. State of. Look up the definition of state of or in this state for USC 110.
If it's of something, it can't be that thing.
Well, the only place you're really fucked there is when you live in, like you were saying, if you live in one of the outliers or you live in fucking that little 10 square miles in Virginia. You know, that's when it's fucky, you know, but we don't, gentlemen. And so all this shit that's happening to us is warring with the American public and the countryside, period. Point fucking blank, it's domestic terrorism. It's, it's domestic abuse. Domestic abuse. This is back in the 70s. They recategorized domestic abuse to mean spousal abuse, which is what they had before. And when it's not broke, you know, you don't fix it. It's not equitable to do something like that. And so they went and changed these terms so that the Bar Association could finish their last leg of what they're supposed to do here, which they've done. And now we're in the situation we're in. To me, it seems as though if we get rid of the Fed and we get rid of the fucking bar, we've got our country back. Essentially, it doesn't matter what those little corrupt motherfuckers do at the top, man. They've got lifespans. All that shit can be undone. This is a system of checks and balances. Men make mistakes. Persons make errors. Errors are costly. Mistakes can be fucking corrected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, these bar associations are the one that have control over the whole thing.
Everything. A rock star doesn't go shit without asking an attorney if it's okay.
Well,
You
they've
know?
not only made errors, they've made reversible errors.
Yep. Yeah, which is better. By definition, this is something that can fucking not exist.
Yeah, that means what they've done, you know, is invalid. The whole thing needs to be reversed.
Right. Correct.
The system's there. The key is you need to operate correctly. And look, there's a lot of dingleberries out there that need this system because
I'm not.
They can't control themselves. So when we learn how to operate ourselves and say, oh, well, we walk in that court, we control that court and command that court rather than play the silly little game they want to play.
Yeah.
Of the name and fuck all that shit, man. Let's get right down to brass fucking tacks.
Right.
Did this dipshit that arrested me have the authority to arrest me to start with? Because if he didn't, we're probably going to file a countersuit against him for a fucking false arrest.
Well, and if I'm here, if I'm being
arresting them, we should be arresting them.
We should be, and we have the fucking right to. And I'm working on that shit. I've been looking extensively into Dave Merlin's program. What he tried and failed. He had these citizens review boards that were supposed to turn into this. And no, in my state at least, and I don't know about yours, but just for anybody watching, in the great state of Kansas. And then again, this goes back to what Jason's saying. Are we in the state of Kansas? But still, in my state, I can arrest anybody in this fucking town, including the sheriff. Wait, no. I can't arrest the sheriff. I have to have the coroner do it. But the coroner's the top of the line next to a game warden. But that's if we're talking about territorial jurisdiction, and that's really what it falls down to is jurisdiction. And you can find all of this shit in their manuals. And that's what I've been doing is at the governmentmanuals.gov. You can go in and fucking read every fucking manual that's ever been fucking made for up to the current edition, for every fucking government agency, body, government entity, governmental authority, government oversight committee, government watchdog group. Every fucking one has rules that they have to follow, just like we do, dude. You know what I'm saying? And you go looking at the rules, and you're going to find that the people at the top are not following them. And that's why they're at the top, because they're willing to fucking say, fuck this, dude. And if you think back to high school, like that kid, the first kid that you knew that fought somebody in front of you or fucking was macking on all the bitches or telling the teacher to go eat shit. Like, yeah, that dude might have ended up an electrician or a factory worker or something and fucking living in a trailer park. But that motherfucker had it right. He did, dude. It's either him or that retarded person with somebody in the bathroom fucking watching him roll his dick out like it's a fire hose, like fucking, like the aid or whatever. Like that dude's probably got it figured out. Like he's just going to fucking be a big dick retarded guy. Somebody's going to feed him fucking grapes and fucking cheese snacks his whole life. You know what I'm saying? But we don't get that. So we get a fight. And that's what I've got from you, Jason. Like if I haven't learned anything else, and I have so much about life and living and fucking what we are, what this place is, and how we're supposed to act within it, conduct ourselves. It's a fucking, you're the hero in this story. That's why it's a first person perspective. You'd be seeing it from the third person, like fucking omnipotent point of view, just like you would a video game if it was something fake and you weren't the hero. But it's real and you are, so it's fucking doom essentially. If these things stand in front of you, yeah.
I flipped open into the maxims section of this book.
Yeah.
Right to the maxims on equity.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
I still don't, man. I've read them. It's kind of like a Zen thing, man. Like you got to try to to not think about it to understand. You know, I don't know how to explain. Here, I'll give you a couple examples.
The hard part for me. Go ahead.
The equity of the court of chancery, as it were the daughter of conscience, conforms to the rules of court.
That's my boy Blackstone, isn't it?
It doesn't say.
That's Blackstone. Yeah, it's Blackstone.
Equity is the correction of some part of the law where by reason of its generality it is defective.
I think those are from Blackstone, like in succession.
Equity is a sort of perfect reason that interprets and amends written law, comprehended in no written text, but consisting of reason alone.
So you use these maxims in your suits against them.
Right. Yeah, I've been highlighting the ones that I like in here.
God, I wish I could show you guys my screen. I've got just everything. I've got every fucking thing, man. I don't know what to do with all this stuff.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of books on maxims. So when I went through and answered my foreclosure documents, I stuffed maxims all through that shit. Stuffed maxims all through my judicial notices on letting him know I'm acknowledging his oath and accepting it, binding him to it. Put a bunch of maxims in there.
Right. I need to just unpack all this stuff. I've got all this stuff zipped up so I can't even see it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I've got all of the ecclesiastical law maxims, maritime admiralty law maxims, the law of merchant, wow. Strategy instructions on how to. Rules. Fuck me, dude.
Here's one. The fraud of one party should not harm another.
Right. Yeah, no shit. That's I'm good with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I might make something, all the maxims of fraud and get them all together,
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a nice little mini book. Maxims of fraud.
Yeah.
And anything I write to them, I throw a couple of maxims concerning fraud on there.
Right. I would. That's what it's like Jason was saying, because this is it's not stare decisis, but what's the thing speaks for itself, Jason? What's Latin for the thing speaks for itself? Fuck. I know this. It's something that I was just reading about the other day. It's a res something, not res judicata, but
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's not, but it's about res because res is a thing, and so fuck. Yeah, I can't remember.
I could probably look it up here real quick.
Yeah, it's gonna be res
or something like that.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I've got blacks right in front of me. Fucking yeah. I suppose I could too.
You guys gonna check out that premiere in an hour?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Premiere.
Yeah. I had a mouse in my pocket in the kangaroo court the other day.
Less ISPA locatur is what you're talking.
Yeah, that's it.
Legal doctrine allows the plaintiff to infer a defendant's negligence from the occurrence of an accident, even when direct evidence is lacking. The phrase in Latin for the thing speaks for itself.
I was going back and listening to some of the older conversations that we've had the other day, and this is something that kind of that rang out in what you were telling me, was that some things are a fundamental and sound doctrine and principle. Like I know for a fact that I can't take the fucking grapes that are rotten and pick them and set them on the table and we'll eat them in a few days. But I also know for a fact that I can pick them a little early and put them up there and they will ripen.
You could have had a time machine.
But I think the thing that I strive for here is kind of that a motherfucker is absolutely how do I say there are some things that are fundamental sound doctrine and principle. You cannot deny them. You cannot rebut them, revoke them, rebuke them, or anything of that matter. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's where all your maxims are.
Yep, the thing speaks for itself.
A maxim, I'm a free man said a maxim is something that's true all the time.
Yep,
That's
absolutely.
Like, it's so pure, it can't be rebutted or diluted.
And that's what I was about to get into. One of the things that kind of bothers me about this whole thing is that a lot of these come from men like Blackstone. And like, these weren't good fucking men. They weren't good fucking men. They were bad fucking men. You know what I mean? For all intents and purposes, I would say that they followed a fucking demoness. That Iustia was the goddess of commerce, and commerce is fucking war. And we got Lady Justice watching over with her watchful eye of no eyes because blindfold. Like, I don't want to gal with a fucking sword defending my family. I don't want to gal with a fucking a sword and a fucking blindfold weighing out my goddamn bag of cocaine. You know what I mean?
Yep. Hey, I'm sneaking out for a few. I'll be back in a bit.
All right, brother. Oh, I see that. Yeah, sorry. I'm a slow son of a bitch. I am going to run a quick thing unless you got some stuff you wanted to touch on, brother.
Yeah, I got a few more maxims for you if you want.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna put you in full.
On that thing, I'll jump back in with some maxims. How long?
Oh no, you're good. I was just throwing it on so I could do some one hitters real quick and not look like a trashy bastard. But I ought to just leave it on. Fuck it, dude. You know. Go ahead.
Okay, here's the equity ones. Equity wishes the plundered, the deceived, and the ruined, above all, to have restitution. That sounds good, right?
Right.
The assessment of a past offense never increases from a subsequent fact. The inference from fact to law is not allowed. That is, a fact does not necessarily constitute a right. They're mind benders, man. You know.
Well, and dude, it's dude, I've been looking into some of those Chessmaster quotes. Like you got me looking into that shit, and wow, dude, wow. You know, fucking
amazing, right?
Right.
Maxims of chess, you know, and that's what I really cut my teeth on too. Starting a few years ago, is maxims of law and maxims of chess. You know,
it's funny. They
can't steer you wrong. A maxim,
they go full circle. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think you know, the Bar Association is probably too lazy to sift through all these maxims. There's thousands of them in here.
Well, yeah, all those guys are stuffed suits, man. They're just stuffed suits. Is that your gal friend with you? I hear in the background.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
That gal's amazing, dude. What you guys pulled off the other day, while fucking stupid, was something else, dude. It was something else. You guys could have fucking got thrown in the slammer so fucking quick for that shit, dude. Balls out.
Yeah, that was a different friend of mine. That was a different friend of mine.
Yeah, that was some shit, dude. Like, whoever that one was ride or fucking die, dude. I don't have friends like that. You're a very lucky man.
Yeah, I was, man. You know what? I'm to the point where if I don't have a recorder on me, I'm not going in there. You know, it's way too dangerous. You know, I would rather face the threats of their fake warrants and violence than go in there to a secret meeting and have no record of it to leave with. You know, I'm not doing it.
Correct. And you shouldn't have to. It's against your rights.
Right.
A violation of your rights is a violation of my rights, man, and that I cannot abide. I will not abide. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you hear the part where he tells me to put my my device up on the counter there, and he puts his up there, like, you know, I don't know what that's supposed to do. That's like two gangsters, you know, like, put your gun on the table there, well, you know, while we do business or something.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, right? You know?
Yeah, what the fuck does that mean to me that he's putting his up there? What does that even mean? Because he just got done telling me they're making a record of it. He's got his transcriptionist in there, you know, so he could alter the record if they want to.
Dude.
You know, that's the stupidest thing. I could see back in the 1700s or something, they got someone a little typewriter because they can't fucking write it down as fast as someone saying it, but we got recorders nowadays.
Obvious Luca Brasi scene is obvious Luca Brasi scene. You know what I mean? You remember what happened to Luca? They put his hand down on the bar to get a shot, and they fucking stabbed him with a goddamn fucking switchblade or some shit, and then put a fucking piano wire around his fucking neck. You know, that's what this court system is. This court system is set up exactly like that. The Roman courts are the Roman courts. Look at Jesus. He's wearing that cloth around his waist for a reason. You fuck with Rome, and they'll cut your dick off, dude. Literally and metaphorically. You're not a threat to anyone after that. You know.
This is Rome. This is Rome.
Yeah, it is. You're goddamn right. The Greek states never fell. They never fell. The Greek states, just like the Scythian states and the Sumerian states before them, they never fell. They had the severed head on one side of their coin. Think about to impress, hand over fist, soft metals with a pack, you know, making these little things, and then they'd flip the thing over, and they'd fucking eagle, right? Warbird, Thunderbird, fucking Nazis. That's what this whole shit's about, dude. That's what this whole shit's about, dude. It's about Saturn. It's about the Black Sun. It's about Nazis. It's about bloodlines. You know, at the expense of possibly sounding a little bit crazy, I've done extensive research on all of this stuff, and I can trace this demon that we're fighting right now all the way back to Justinian Rome, dude. And I say this without an ounce of fucking regret or fucking hesitation. This is something that's timeless. It's we can only do what we're pre-programmed to do, ladies and gentlemen. And thank God I was programmed to be a fucking hero, because we dance our little fucking lifeless, fucking willless fucking dance across this stage of fucking space and time for these timeless, soulless fucking observers. And these motherfuckers have got us like doomed in this hell of cyberspace to be copied and pasted, compressed and shared, copied and pasted, compressed and shared. Fuck, they clone the shit out of us, dude. That's why they're fucking taking our fucking footprints, our souls, you know, on our birth certificates with our bloods. They, you know, they've got that shit to send to Rome.
Here's a maxim. To accept anything as a reward for doing justice is rather extorting than accepting.
Exactly. And that just goes back to what I was saying, that this is clearly the result of a fucking devil and a playpen. Like, I think we can beat this thing. I don't think I'm trapped here under the system. I think the system's trapped here with me. And I'm a fucking outsmarted, dude. It's just like any other thing, man. There's only so many things it can do. And if I know those things, what can it do? What can it do? I'm doing all things in honor. You know what I'm saying? Which falls into the equity line of maxims and being in chancery. You know, things being held in chamber, in camera. This is where you want to
maxim. Here's another maxim that evidences their fraud. Common observance is not to be departed from, and things that have certain meaning are to be changed as little as possible. Not with a definition that's in stark contrast to the you know, common parlance meaning of it, like that word you know, charge or understand.
Right. Man, I wish I could pull up my fucking my notebook right now. If I was anywhere else, I'd have Wi-Fi to pull this motherfucking shit up. But I've been digging with Notebook, the AI, and I've been finding some shit that is just insane as far as legal research, analysis, and writing. You know what I mean? And how we take and basically prove our elements before we've even gotten into court. And so that it's all empirical, it's all fucking irrevocable, irrefutable, self-authenticating evidence. And for the most part, every case that I've come across has some instance of this, where you're able to say that this, and this has fucking happened to me, and I got to prove this, and this. Well, guess what? I'm using your documentation, so what the fuck, you know?
I think AI could put all this law nonsense to rest, man. You know, because AI could make everybody like F. Lee Bailey.
Yeah, well, and it's turned me into F. Lee Bailey. And that's funny that you say that, because I've been sitting and watching a lot of F. Lee Bailey's fucking Cross. Watching F. Lee Bailey on Cross is like fucking watching LeBron, dude. I mean, I don't care what you say. Like, you don't even have to be a lawyer or know anything about law or have any interest in this shit to hear this dude fucking examine somebody. Ooh, fuck. Man, you better hope you're his witness, dude, and not the other way around. Like fucking.
Brexit, what's happening, man?
Oh, shit.
Brexit in the house, yeah.
Well, shit, he needs to come on in.
Slander committed at a public court record that is not rebutted stands as true.
We've got an all-star cast in here tonight, dude. Fucking, this is something that we got to do more often. I think that guys like this get together and we change fucking whole worlds. You know what I mean? So open panel, ladies and gentlemen, anybody watching, you're more than welcome to come in here and spill the beans. You know what I'm saying? This is the new town square. This is where this shit's happening. So the revolutions won't be fought on the streets. They won't be. They'll be fought and fucking won right here. You know?
Yeah, I didn't ask them for their driver license in that kangaroo court, but they
You should have. It'd be over. It'd be over. It'd be over if you had. I fucking promise you. Abraxas can break this down in fucking about 4 minutes if uninterrupted, and I'm not saying anybody here would butt in, but like the last time he tried to do it live, he got a lot of weird questions, you know, and that's cool because people will hear this and they fucking won't want to believe it. But this motherfucker, yeah, exactly. Require. You don't ask. I require. I don't demand. I require.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do
that they do this thing, and so therefore I require. What's that?
I did have that in my paper. I got to my paper, and so.
Man, Abraxas, you should come on, brother. You should give us 15 minutes of your time, dude. Anybody watching this now or throughout the annals of history? Annals of history. I like saying annals, but seeing the number on the thing go up feels good. But having you on this motherfucker would change the world, bro. I fucking promise you. You weren't built for mortal man shit. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just catching up on the chat. Anyways, yeah, I've got a bunch of shit here. Have you read the Red Book or the Red Book Manual on Legal Styles? Yeah, the Red Book. Yeah, no. I got a copy of it for free off of Westlaw, and it's kind of like the Attorney's Blue Book, or they've got the Pink Book and the Green Book as well. All of these books, you know, the color coding system that they pulled off in the 90s or whatever, that wasn't new. That wasn't anything new. All of these things belong to their gods, just like the all the Apollo missions or all the space missions, period. Every car you've ever driven, the names of the days of the week, the months, all of this shit is about their gods, man. And we have the audacity to fucking sit here and say that this is a fucking monotheistic fucking world that we live in. Like, look around you and fucking tell me that isn't counterintuitive and fucking just in the face of everything you observe. Yeah.
I don't really know what you mean by that.
That the Pantheon was real. That we say myth and we think that is a lie. That's based on story time stuff. Yeah, sure. Everything's based on story time stuff. If I say to you, what is the substance of the book you're reading? You're going to say, oh, it's a nonfiction about a brain science, or this is a thriller about a crime, you know, an investigatory fiction, or a Dungeons and Dragons book. Substance is the fucking thing that is below the subflooring, the substance, the footing. And so myth is the etymologically is the footing, the concrete that they dug into the ground around the house that they're about to build. That's not a slab on grade. The footing of the mythos. Mythos is that which is like the truth that like can never die. Like it's not something that goes away when you stop speaking its name. Like the mythos is part of the I forget what they're called. There were three of them: the mythos, the ethos, and the logos. And all of them, logos is the language. Those are the words that we use to describe to say matches. And you say matches, and in your head you think fucking I'm gonna peel these over and fucking rip one off, but I say, and you're like, oh, fucking wooden matches, little cardboard box, right? And then I open it up and I say, have a breath mint. You fucking smell like you've been eating a cat's ass. Now, I've used your thought and my words, nothing but my words, which were free. They didn't cost me any energy, barely any time. And I just, and now all of a sudden you've used your fucking conscious awareness of these things that exist in the collective, but were not here a second ago, to bring them into the frame. And now we're thinking matches. And now I've got, oh, boom, fucking wood matches. And oh, no, cat's ass. So think of all the things that I just made you to create for us. And now they're here. We don't think about 5 and what 5 was before it was 5. Did it have to kill fucking 3 and 4 to become 5? Does it want to step over its own self and become 6? We don't think of where we summon 5 from, where 5 goes to when we're done with this little equation. We do know that if we bring 3 into the mix, that we've got 8. And now all of a sudden I've used you to create 3 more things and bring them here and they'll go. So we do this when we sleep. We sleep and we say, okay, fine. I fall asleep in a second like that, or just over the period of watching a boring fucking guy talk on a stream. And all of a sudden I've got this whole world and the quantum physics of it, the reality of it, the gravity, natural law, fucking reaction, fucking cause and effect, people's clothing, their fucking backstories, their names, their faces, the buildings that you're seeing them at. All this I just create. And then, oh man, my cat farted. It's gone? Get the fuck out of here, dude. No way. That's why they have us sleep on fucking metal satellite arrays. Those are fucking satellite antennas from fucking, Vietnam tech. Look at the old satellites they used to put on top of trucks. It's your couch. It's your bed. That's how they're getting us, dude. They reset and fucking debug this little simulacrum every fucking night when you sleep. You don't sleep for 3 or 4 days and this thing fucking starts tearing itself apart. It gets a guy like me quiet, if you can imagine that. And I'll sit there and just watch this whole world just fucking wreck itself around me when I don't sleep. And so I don't sleep. I just get sharper and sharper. I do, just like if I'm drinking and I got to drive us home. Ain't no way we're getting fucking pulled over, dude. I got that blinker on way before I'm even thinking about, yeah, like I'm a master at shit when I'm fucked up for some reason, And so sleep deprivation has been fucking instrumental in my symbiosis. Like I've made this circle with myself where I now feel like the Ouroboros and I understand the first of the mysteries. Like I thought I knew it when they showed it to me. But I didn't, and it's the what do they call them? It's not the demiurge, but the monad. The monad is a circle with the dot in the middle of it, and they'll say to you after they do their stupid little fucking ritual, "All right, Frater Talbert, you little fag, come over here. You just kissed a bunch of dudes with a blindfold on. That's fucking weird." Now your friend Tubal Cain has a fucking box on some steps. Why don't you go grab it? He left you a gift there and bring it back to us. And you come back with that thing and you see this thing and it's, you're told to go travel into the light and ponder on this until we meet again. Bam. That's it. And then you leave and they probably all go rape some kids. And when you come back, they ask you, and some brothers will say, well, I think that this circle is all that exists. And that dot is me. And if I'm not black all the way to the brim of that, then I haven't become whole and I can't see the light. And some people will say like, well, maybe that's I'm a two-dimensional object or a one-dimensional object or something. And this is the thing that confines me and defines me, and not to go on too much of a rant, but I mean, to me, it's a conical mirror and a ball on a tether. And you're looking at God like you're looking at yourself. And this probably happens when you die, just like a conical mirror and a fucking ball. It'll disappear. And then it's the size it was. And then, oh my God, it's the whole fucking thing. And then, whoop, up there, this little bitty again.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Can you see the right here? It's all chipped and scratched. This hit the road.
Yeah.
It still works. It still works.
No shit. That's fucking crazy.
Right here. And then down to here. Yeah.
Damn. Well, fucking
together.
They don't make them like they used to, I guess.
I guess not, man. What kind of light bulb goes grinding down the road and still works? That's
right.
I'm pretty impressed with that.
Right. I fucking yeah, man. I there's something to be said about and I mean that dude that fucking it just goes into the craftsmanship of things. Like a fucking dresser that my mom bought back when she was pregnant with me. It didn't have round over corners on it because people weren't pussies and they didn't fucking just get stuck open bleeding all over the fucking place when they bumped into a piece of furniture. Like this peanut allergy society has fucking destroyed us. And it's got everybody thinking that they're some kind of fucking pauper, that they're not the man. Like, dude, no one's ever going to fucking tell me what to do ever again, dude. Nah, not after what I went through and the fact that I got through all of this without taking any lives. Like, I mean, they destroyed a whole fucking family just to shut me up, dude. And look what I'm doing. I'll be screaming this shit at the fucking padded walls. They'll never stop me. Fucking take my family. Faggots. Anyways, yeah.
Hey, if the magistrate says you're free to go, does that mean that's the end of it? The end of it?
It depends on if they've made a determination, like a ruling.
Well, they made a determination that I was free to go.
Yeah. Brother, you should come on. I think that you would say some profound fucking shit tonight. Please give us 5-10 minutes if you back out and need to go. Like, nobody's going to hold nothing against you. Like, you've always got some fucking input, dude. I remember every conversation we've had, man, pretty vividly, for somebody with a brain tumor. But every time we speak, man, you reveal another piece of the veil. It's ripped. And then you walk me over to it and like fucking put your hand on my shoulder while I look through it and try and rationalize what I'm seeing. So this is a real dark time for me, dude. So like a little bit of light would be fucking beautiful, you know?
Mission Control, he's on it with that FCC stuff, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I'm telling you, he's a monster. Yeah. Yep. They ought to be watching us. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the two viewers was a Fed. They should be fucking scared of us, dude. The people that are coming around me, whatever I'm drawn in or whatever I'm being drawn to, either way, doesn't work. Same thing. It's going to be the destruction of this shit. And that's like, I can't leave this like this, man. I can't leave this.
Enjoy, brother.
Cheers. Right. Well, we're definitely living in a fucking really interesting time, man. Like we live in a point in space and time where we're taking shit from a bunch of fucking nerds, and we pay taxes we don't owe because we can't read, we don't know, to lizards that are haphazardly stuffed in skin suits that abduct and eat our children, harvest our organs. And these are all things that we know. These aren't things that we can't prove. These aren't things that really require any kind of fucking disclaimer. You know, this is our world. So I posit one more thing, I suppose, before I jump out of here, and that's that this place is hell. I would postulate that fucking the ground beneath our feet we refer to as shale, and shale is very common in its origin and its meaning and its form and function as the Hebrew word shale. And without the vowels as it is, this thing written has a mathematical value, and that's it, you know, is what it is. And one can look into that in gematria or fucking Chaldean numerology or whatever. SHEOLL. This thing is hollow. It's nothingness. It's the nothing from the never-ending story. It's nothing without end. And you know, if you think about the people that you've lost lately and all that, that's exactly what that is, man. This thing is nothing. And you know, when the angels fought and they lost or whatever, and God's like, all right, you know, I'm going to send you down there with Adam because I know all things and I'm very wise and kind. So get down there with my creation. He's dumb as fuck. Don't know shit but name the animals. And I'll give you dominion over him, 7,000 years. And I'll fucking, I'll even let you take your army because I'm sure you guys won't get up to nothing. And then he turns around and tells Adam, there's a bad guy here. And he's fucking clever, man. He's going to get you too. And I'm going to burn you after that. But I'm not going to tell you where he's from, where he's going, what he's going to look like, what he's wearing, what he's going to say, what he's going to want, what's going to happen. None of that. I'll just tell you that he ain't me. And if you think he is, I'm going to fucking burn you forever. But I love you. I think that's the bad guy. I really think that we've been tricked. I think the wool's been pulled over our eyes entirely. I think that when they say separate the wheat from the tares, nobody's thinking about fucking what happens to either. When they say be you not lukewarm, nobody's thinking why would I be in your mouth in the first place, God? You know, nobody's thinking eat some of my son, drink some of my son. This is a sacrament because I'm Saturn, the baby eating fucking monster from Goya's black paintings. I mean, we live somewhere where we used to give our oldest son to this thing annually, so that arbitrarily, so that it would just go away and not fuck with us for just like, I don't know, a year. Like, I'm a man and I can't think of one thing that's frightening enough that fucking would make me do that. And that's what we're up against here, you know? It's daunting.
We have officially reached the point of no return. We are no longer going to be waking people up. Waking up, the spiritual awakening that a lot of us have gone through, is a very personal thing. And many of us have been on this app for 5, 6, I don't know how many years. I've lost count at this point, trying to share information that we've found, that we've researched, to maybe spark something in somebody. We're well beyond that. There's a very clear line drawn in the sand at this point. On one side, you have the awake people. On the other side, you have the people that are oblivious. Those people are so brainwashed that I don't think anything's going to wake them up. They spew whatever they hear from CNN or whatever, verbatim. I believe if there was an alien invasion at this point, they'd probably blame Donald Trump for it. If there was a nuclear war, they'd probably blame Donald Trump for it. If
The Trump derangement syndrome, your God is a fucking fraud. Anyways, what's up?
Oh, nothing. I was on. Were you gonna wrap this one up soon, or?
I think so, man. I'm just dealing with the reality of the shit. Walking around with no family and a brain tumor, fucking trying to fight an invisible, faceless fucking enemy with nobody else. It fucking sucks, dude. I hate this fucking place. We live in hell, dude. We missed the rapture. Like we're in a post-apocalyptic society or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking clear. It's very fucking clear. There are no gods here. They've abandoned us. There are no devils in hell. Hell must be empty, man. All the devils are here. Yeah, I'm out, dude. I'm out. I guess, ladies and gentlemen, I had the unique honor of being Bleak Narratives for you tonight. And tomorrow I'm history. Go your good way.
Go your way, Bleak.